Okay, this is the second portion of the video. I couldn't really get a solid clip in without some nice folks coming by. No offense to them, but check it out. We're in the middle of a valley on the top of this really cool little rock. And yeah, so the story. Alright, so this is the story of how I ran my first 10K. Basically, it started a couple days ago when I heard about it through my sister-in-law. newly sister-in-law. And I've never ran a turkey trot, but the turkey trot was the name of the race. And it had always happened in like close to my hometown and stuff. And I gotten really into running this past year, and I was like, you know what? I heard about it, and I kept seeing signs about it. Like, I kept driving on the roads around my hometown, and there were signs everywhere, like turkey trot, like sign up now. And I never did, and I was like, I want to do that. And then all of a sudden, you know, I had in conversation, we start talking about how my sister-in-law is a runner, and she's run ultra marathons. And I had this crazy idea earlier this year that I wanted to make a goal to run across America, and that's still in the works, but we're slowly trudging along. The first 10K ever for me, at least race-wise. I've definitely run more before that, so. But it was a significant thing. It was a sign almost that, like, hey, maybe my dreams aren't that hard to achieve, especially after the past couple weeks I've been going through. So anyways, I'm chatting with her, and then she brings up that she's doing the turkey trot, and then I'm like, I wanted to do that. And she's like, you should register. It might not be too late. And I look into it that day. I try to register and I can't. Well, the only thing that's open is like the 1 mile race for children. And I wanted to do the 10K. So I reach out to the organization and I just send an email that day. And I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. So send an email and then don't think about it at all. And then I just kind of forget about it. Next day, the day that comes along, which is the day I posted that video on top of the mountain, the most recent YouTube full-length video. Sorry, it's kind of a long story, but that day I wake up and I'm like, I really want to go on this hike. So I find a hike and I'm like, this is something I really want to do. So I did it, and you see the video before you. That's what happened. But after that video was made, I found a little collection of rocks on the top of that mountain that were outlooking directly overhead into the sun, the beautiful sun that was there, like this. And it was like a little area for prayer. So what I did is I took off my shirt because it had kind of like a dark message on it. I mean, it's a band that I really like. It's called 3 Days Grace, but it has like a big, you know, skull and crossbones with wings, and it's like, you know, that's not the greatest thing to wear when you're trying to pray or, you know, to whatever God or whatever, the universe and all that stuff. So I take it off and I just kneel, you know, on the dirt right before the sun, and I say a few words. I thank this world, the universe, you know, I think every single, you know, big theological being, and I just kind of accept it all into my world. And I'm like, thank you for everything that you've given me. And I was going through a lot that day, but I gave my thanks. I tried to practice gratitude, especially in these moments that are really struggling. You know, that's when you want to practice it the most. So I said a little message to myself, and I just kind of thanked everything. And this isn't like a super holy thing, but like, you know, some of that stuff does matter, and it had a part in the story. So anyways, that happens, and then immediately I get a call from this Pilates instructor. And basically, a couple days before, I was trying to look for a yoga studio to do some yoga, and unfortunately it wasn't a yoga studio at all. And she reached out to me after I left a message on her voicemail about like, I really want to do this yoga thing. And she said, oh, sorry, we're not actually a yoga place, we're actually a Pilates studio. And that connected to a conversation I had with a friend that I was, that I had a drink with like maybe a week prior to this. And she had done Pilates, and she was saying, you should do some Pilates, like it would be a really fun thing. And so I told the instructor. It was just a very divine like connection moment. And basically we chatted. I didn't end up doing a class, but I think like the message there was kind of really like profound. And it's like, whoa, like right after did the little kneeling thing, that happened. And then immediately after that, I was thinking about like, I really, in the trip in the desert, I was like, I really want to go on, on a little road trip. Like, I love the desert. I love driving through there. It's such beautiful views. And so I'm on my way back to the hotel or whatever that we had rented or stuff. And I see a sign. We're in like the Las Vegas area at this moment in time that I made that video. That was in like the Vegas County. And essentially I got up to this sign after driving through Pahrump in the valley over there in Red Rock, and the sign either said it was turn right to go to Las Vegas, and then turn left to go to, I think it was Baker, I'm not really sure. But I was like, you know what, I had a conversation with my sister and my mom in the middle of this valley right before that sign came up, and I told them I'll be back in like a couple hours. And then I pull up to the sign and I'm like, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna be back in a couple hours. I think I might be back a little longer. So anyways, cut to me turning left, and then immediately as I turn left, the music that I was playing changes to this song by Chet Baker called Let's Get Lost. And it was just like the perfect moment. It was almost like something's happening here. All right, so I'm on this road for a while going to Pahrump, and on the way I find this little gas station that's it's alien themed. And I go into the alien themed gas station, and I purchase a little hoodie just because it was kind of a sign. I was like, I really like this hoodie, I want to get it. So I bought the hoodie, and I purchased a little, what are those things called, the little fortune teller like deals. And I had I don't remember the fortune exactly. The fortune, I'll paraphrase, it pertained to like having, a tree without roots gets blown over, and so be wary of like, not over planting. I think the message was like, cherish the roots and like actually like, work on your foundation skills. And I don't know. Anyways, outside of that, maybe that'll resonate with somebody, who knows. Just, don't be so quick to uproot. I think that was the message. So anyways, I get the numbers on the fortune, and I'm like, this day's been going so well, I might as well just try my luck and use this to get a lottery ticket. I go to a gas station, and they're like, no, we don't sell lottery tickets in the state of Nevada. You got to go to California. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. Cut to me driving, 60 some odd miles into California to this tiny little town called Shoshone. I met this guy named Rob at the counter, and I tried to sign I was having difficulties signing my little ticket with my numbers, because one of the numbers wasn't in the proper spot. It was 24 was the cutoff of number, and 25 was the number that was on there. So I was like, damn. So it didn't work. So then as I was turning around to go to the ATM, because I was like trying to pay, he said, yeah, we only do cash. Here's the ATM. I walk up and it's broken, and I'm like, I guess it wasn't meant to be. So I walk outside, meet this guy named Bill, and I guess he was in the same situation. he basically he came to that gas station to get lottery tickets because he found a $10 bill in the ground somewhere. And it was kind of a coincidence that brought us together. So he was broken down there, and I'm like, let me get you a ride. He was a little like, he was like, maybe not, maybe. And then he finally was like, yeah, I'll take a ride. So I drive him down. This is all happening in the same day. I drive him down, and I drop him off over there he lives in this little campground. It's so beautiful, sun setting, everything. And then I give him as a treat. I'm like, here's the lottery numbers that I was gonna use. You should use them, and let me know if you win or not. And he was like pretty excited about that. So I don't know the end of that portion of the story, to be continued, I suppose. But let's move back to when I went through to Pahrump. So I went through to Pahrump. It's in Nevada. It's this little town, and there's this nice like valley over there. If you park all the way like on the outskirts of the town, you take you get out of the car. I was wearing what I'm wearing now, just like had a Monster can and some glasses on and my water bottle. And I'm walking through the desert, and it's just so beautiful, 360 view, just nothing but mountains and desert and beautiful nature. And then I get this like crazy thing that happens where I'm getting followed by black hawks, and apparently like they are really territorial about their space, and I didn't know if I was, a target at that point. So turns out you need to wear a helmet, which I did not have. So I ended up using this backpack, putting it over my head, and just like, using that as cover. And I ended up starting to like run through the desert trying to like get back to the car. It was almost like it was funny because, in the grand scheme of things, it was almost like a divine timing type shit, because as I get back and go through the whole deal of getting back to the car, the minute I sit down, I get an email from, you guessed it, this is the president of the association that puts on the Dana Point Turkey Trot, whatever. But it's the president. Like, I got through to the president. Okay. That's crazy. And she sends me a message like, oh, thank you so much for the kind words you said, and I'm sorry that you couldn't register, but there is a way that maybe you can make it happen. Some people register and then they'll drop out, and so maybe just look online and let me know if you have any luck there. And then immediately, right after I had seen that message, I'm like, all right, I'm looking it up, and got it. Like that. Like no ifs, ands, or buts, just it happened in a second. And I was like, whoa, that's insane. And then I call the president, and I'm like, hey, this is Julian. I just wanted to let you know that this thing happened. Like I actually got in. And she was like, oh, that's wonderful, thank you. And it was a whole moment, and it was great. It was unbelievable. So fast forward to day of race, right? This is where it gets like, I think it's like the best thing on top. One of the most incredible experiences. If you've never run a 10K, 5K, a marathon, whatever, do it. If you've never done a single event in your life, like running, or even just like going to your local Pilates class or any kind of fitness thing, any kind of group setting thing, do it. If you really want to, if there's something that's on your mind that you've always wanted to do that shit, because it'll be life changing. And especially when you're, if you think about it and then all of a sudden you're doing the thing and you're like, wow, this is, I'm manifesting this shit into my life. Anyways, I go there. It starts off amazing. I have a great little gas station breakfast. The gas station clerk was so nice and just the perfect vibe to start off the day. Got down, got shuttled over, ran my 10K, and then had a bit of a walk, and then I ended up going over to the little stand where they have like all the announcements and all the speakers and everything. And I talked to the security guard and one of the event organizers, and I'm like, I really wanted to see if I could, you know, maybe have like a few words with the president, because I have kind of a crazy story. And I told them the whole story, and they were like, sure, let's do it. And this is the best part, the best fucking part. Her name is Vicky McMurtry, and President Vicky McMurtry. And she walks over, and I'm like, hi, I'm Julian. I'm the guy you spoke over the phone with. I don't know if you remember me, but I ran the 10K, and then the whole thing happened, and I just wanted to thank you. And she was like really gracious and nice, and it was just like, it was the perfect moment and the perfect like end to the story, you know? Anyways, I'm sorry if I'm rambling and this was the longest story ever, but like, I just want to get on here and let you know, like, your dreams are absolutely achievable, no matter what they are, no matter if people like believe in you or not. They will manifest no matter what. Whatever you want to do in your life, you're literally one step away. If you just allow it to come to you and you take the initiative, you know. It's one thing to have a dream, but it's also one thing to like take leaps towards that dream. And a leap can be a small leap, a leap can be a huge leap. It all just depends on the timing of things, and you'll never know until you try. So go out there and try to like do good things in this world, because you never know when the next moment will be your last. And that's the whole thing about life, is like, it's all about moments, you know, and you know exactly what you want to be doing in each moment, and, you know, no matter what it is. I truly believe that if you can just focus in on what you actually want in this moment, right now, even just right now watching this video, like, what do you want to do? And okay, what can you do to take that step towards doing the thing that you want to do? And sometimes it's as simple as picking up the thing and doing the thing. You know, just like running, you know. Running, you can do it anywhere, anytime, and it's a beautiful kind of, you know, amazing thing. So anyways, I'm getting lost in the train of thought, but I really hope you enjoyed this video and this story. And yeah, let me know if you want to hear any more stories. Maybe if I could figure out like a better way of, you know, phrasing the story so it's not such a long-winded tale. But anyways, there's a little fly right here on my knee, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you, and have a good rest of your, I guess, Thanksgiving, if you're watching this on Thanksgiving. If not, hope you're having a great day. All right, love you, you beautiful beast.